I call the honourable member for Lyons.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is to the Treasurer. Will the Treasurer outline how getting the budget back on track allows Australia to be best prepared for future economic challenges?
I call the honourable Treasurer.
Well, I'm very grateful to the honourable member for Lyons, for the question. He's actually asking about the details of the budget, and I'm happy to respond and focus on the fact that the Labor Party, if no action were taken, the Australian government debt would increase to $667 billion within a decade. $667 billion in a decade. That's $25,000 for every man, woman and child in Australia. And our interest bill alone at that time would be nearly $3 billion a month. $3 billion a month for the legacy of debt left by the Labor Party in just 6 years. In just 6 years, they've managed to lock in expenditure that left us with a trajectory of debt to $667 billion, with an interest bill of nearly $3 billion a month. And now, the interest bill is over $1 billion a month for what Labor did over a 6-year period. Now, the fact is they have left us with the fastest growth rate in spending of the top 17 surveyed IMF countries in the world. The fastest growth in spending. They've left us with the third fastest growth in net debt of the 17 surveyed countries in the world. And Labor says there is no problem, no tragedy here, no problem here, because from their perspective they did nothing wrong. They did nothing wrong. Well, they did. And the first act of wrongness is denial, is their denial. Now, we've heard about the War of the Roses, but I want to tell you about the War of the Bowens. I want to tell you about the Battle of the Bowens, because the Bowen in the Labor Party seems to think there's really no problem here, just a little bit of a budget repair job. But the Bowen that is the parliamentary budget officer, appointed by the last parliament as an independent arbiter in these matters, he said, "It is time to start coming out of debt and deficit. Otherwise, the longer you leave it, the more exposed you become and the harder it is to wind back." That's the independent Bowen, the Bowen that knows what he's talking about. And you know, that Bowen, Phil Bowen, the parliamentary budget officer, he has belled the cat. He has proven the fact, as has every other independent analyst, that the fact is that we need to act now to stop the debt getting out of control. And the only way to do that is to back a budget that is honest. And that comes as a rude shock to Labor, an honest budget. But the fact is we've delivered an honest budget and we will fix the economy.